Molweni Betunana, good evening. On this beautiful Sunday evening. It is, I think the time is around 10 o'clock in the evening. Um, yeah, I can't find any sleep. Um, yeah, so I just thought, you know what, let me just, shoot a video basically. Let me record a video for you guys. Because it's gonna be a very hectic week. I'm not sure if I'll be able to post anything this week. On Tuesday, I am leaving ndinomsebenzi wenkomo somewhere in Kingdomstown, umsebenzi wenguqulo, so it gets hectic. And yeah, so I like focusing xa ndisenza umsebenzi, so I'm not sure I will have time, so I might as well post whilst I still have the time and the energy and the zest, ne? Because sometimes you have the time but you don't have the zest, you're not driven. So I don't like, I honestly don't like shooting a video when I'm not inspired. So yeah, I'm inspired these days. I feel great. So yeah, and today I want to do a story time with you guys. And I'm sure by now you know what my videos are meant to inspire, meant to motivate, meant to pick you up from the doldrums. Because I myself, there was a time in my life where I needed someone like me, and I could not find anyone. That time when I realized I had a calling, but I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what was what. I needed someone to hold me by the hand, but there was no one, basically. That was the most difficult time in my life. So I started this channel because I felt like, if I can help one or two people, we understand, not have to go through what I went through, it would be great. So yeah, I'm doing a story time from the point of view of motivating, you understand, and inspiring. And the story time is about a time in my life where I felt pressured to actually quit my job. And this is not so long ago. It's actually, it was 2017 February when I decided, this is it. I must just do it. When there were events that led up to me taking that decision. So by that time already, I knew, I had known for a very long time that at some point I'm gonna have to quit, the 9 to 5, because I've known for a long time, Uguti, I'm actually not a model employee. I am not a 9 to 5 person. I gave my bosses hell, to be honest with you. Especially my last boss. I gave her hell. Yes, man. And sometimes it was unnecessary, you understand. We were just not getting along. We were water and oil. It didn't help that, she was Afrikaner and I'm Xhosa. Yeah, it was hell. Even my colleagues, you understand, would call me into order, would say, hi, Khanya, but this time, ingathi nawe uyamqala. I felt bad, I felt bad, but I think for me, I'm just one person. I don't take authority too well, you understand. I'm not very good with, being commanded. That's just the truth of it. I'd rather lead than be led. And that's the honest truth. You understand? So if you are going to be leading me, you have to be a very strong person, and you have to be, how do I put it, a very reasonable person. I don't do well with people, with leaders that are not humble. Yeah, so I'm just that person, unfortunately. And I think now I understand that that is simply because I myself am led by male spiritual guides, basically. Ndihamba namakhosi, ngamakhehla, you understand? And sometimes they, they overtake ukhanya, you understand? And if you are going to walk over my head, they take it personally. And I'm being honest. Abantu endihamba nabo, they command respect. So I think that's why. That's why basically. You know, all my previous bosses would commend, would say, you know what, you are as good as a man. You understand? Actually, I did better with male bosses than female bosses. I got along very well with males. You understand? When it comes to females, I would struggle. I would struggle. So, but my boss is not the reason I had to quit. She was just not the reason. And she was surprised, actually. She was surprised and sad. Much as we were very antagonistic, you understand, towards each other, she was sad to see me leave. She realized, she could see there was a problem, and she wanted to help me, but you know, I decided it was time. You understand? Um, I was very bold, and I decided to just you know, just man up and wear my big girl panties and just leave that place. I'll tell you the story, but I want you to understand, Guti, what also motivated me was the fact that I was like, you know what, Kanye, it doesn't help. Maybe the fact that you are not making the decision, you understand, now the universe or your spiritual guys are actually, putting you in a situation where you are forced to quit. You get me? Because I had been working for 18 years by that time. And in the 18 years, the longest time I stayed with one company was 3 years. Otherwise, I have had so many employers. My CV, let me tell you, my first job was in Cape Town. I was a junior economist. No, a junior researcher. Ne? No, an economic researcher, that's what I was called. I worked there for a year, and then I joined the Reserve Bank, the South African Reserve Bank, as a junior economist. I think I worked there for a year, for 2 years. And I then joined SCMB, Standard Chartered and Corporate Merchant Bank, which was the asset management division for Standard Bank. I joined their graduate trainee program because I thought, equity analysts, were the best paid, in the industry, and I wanted to see myself there, you understand, and I thought, yeah, the recognition and all of that, analyzing shares, I wanted to be seen as that person, like genius, khanya, you understand? So that was the motivation. I went to join the graduate training program, and after the program, SCMB merged with the Asset Management Division for Liberty Life to form Stanley. I was appointed as a share analyst for the furniture sector. My stocks were your Ellerins, your JD groups. Yeah. Um, so I thought I was, I was moving up the career ladder. But then the environment was just, it was just not what I had expected. I could not survive. For starters, the environment was too Afrikaner for me. Um, and as a person who came from a student activist background, um, university, I was a SASCO executive member. I was very active, um, politically. Student politics, you know, uh, you know, it was just, the vibe for me. So now to come and be in an environment where I had to be a yes sir person, no, it wasn't working for me. And, you know, when we left SCMB, when the merger happened, there were many employees that actually lost their jobs. And a lot of the Afrikaner guys felt that some of us got the jobs because of our color, you understand, because they had to do, they had to, the ratio, you understand. Um, so they would look at us with that eye, you understand. And my boss, his name was Herman. Herman who? I don't even remember. He hated me like openly, and it was so obvious with everyone. I hated the pity from everyone around me, you understand, because of the way he treated me. And every Sunday I would despise um having the day ending, thinking, oh my goodness, tomorrow I'm going back to that hellhole. So I decided, no, I can't live like this. So I quit. And then I joined the National Economic Development and Labour Council, which was a nice environment to be in. I was a senior researcher there, serving, because the social partners for NEDLEC are your government departments, your business sector, BUSA, your trade unions like your COSATUs, your community organizations like your SANCOs. So we, I was surrounded by politicians, which is something I really enjoyed. You understand the debates, working with policies. You understand. Um, so I enjoyed NEDLEC. I thoroughly enjoyed NEDLEC, but the perks were not as great as at Stanley. But my sanity was more important than the perks. So after NEDLEC, I joined Trade and Investment Limpopo, which was the marketing arm for the Limpopo government. You understand? We're basically marketing the province to foreign investors. So there was a lot of traveling involved, which I enjoyed. Um, I got to see the world because of Till, basically. I enjoyed that. If you are counting, in Cape Town, when I was working for EPRI, I worked 1 year. I worked 2 years at the Reserve Bank. I stayed 1 year at Standard Bank. I stayed 2 years at Stanley. I stayed 2 years at NEDLEC. Um, 2 years, no, 3 years at Nedlec, and then Trade and Investment Limpopo. I worked 2 years. And then I got tired of the traveling between Limpopo and Joburg. My family would be in Joburg. My husband and the children were in Joburg, so I was commuting every weekend between the two provinces, which got really hectic. So after I gave birth to my last born, Utamela, I decided I'm not going back. So I got a job with Ember Project Management, a black-owned company in Rosebank. We're doing very well, you know, as a senior project manager. I worked with Ember. I was with Ember for 3 years. Very nice company, nice environment. I had no complaints whatsoever. But what happened with Ember was we were caught bankrolling COPE, the political organization, when it was formed, and so the powers that be, you know, would not have it, and they stopped giving us contracts and stopped paying, on time. And there would be a time, you know, I remember one time we went without a salary for 5 months. And during this time, I think this is the time I had just gotten my divorce. We had sold our house, our marital house. I was renting a townhouse, and now, you know, I have to do without a salary. So things were just not good at all. I was tired. I got tired of depending on friends for support, you understand? So I decided, you know what, let me just go home. So I packed everything. Ndasifaka etreyinini mntanam. Faka etreyinini, ndafaka storage. Yava ndarhuqa itreyila ugoduka. Suka eJoburg, Fontaine. Left, I used to live in North Riding. I left North Riding for Ilali, ndabuya ndaze eGilton. Yeva. My mother thought there was something wrong with me. And I got home. I was this miserable person. I don't want to call it depression, but it was sore. My heart was sore. Like, my heart was painful. Like, sore. I had this pain. And then I started having strange dreams. Like, really, really strange dreams. Amagqirha. I'm like, damn it. Diyintoni mina emagqirheni ukubone. And I was always in my room, andifuni a light. My mother would come by the window and be like, all right, thetha, utyiwa yintoni mntanam, une-AIDS? That day I was like, oh my goodness, I love mama. Kanti kungeli xesha ke ngoku intwaso iziveza, you understand? So strange things started happening. I was, you know, I was so used to money. I was earning good money, remember? When I left Ember, so not having money, and ilali njena ukubone iyandicothisa yonke lento lena, ukubone ngapha, he kutheni nangoku ndaske ndaphupha amagqirha okokoko, uyabo? And kwade kwanyanzeleka into yoba, you know what, I had to accept my calling, which I did. And then immediately, I'm telling you, emfukameni yam mna, when I came back, like on the last day, komkhulu emzini omkhulu, I was told that you are starting your new job next week, the following week. And literally, I got home, I had an email, you know, my then employer asking me, like, we've been trying to call you. for me to start work. So now I was employed by this company in Alice, a development agency, which paid me not even half what I used to earn. So life was going down slowly but surely. So NEDA, I was with NEDA for, I joined 2012, I left 2015. So I was with NEDA for 3 years, basically. Um, I left NEDA because they changed CEOs. The new CEO just, bengandifuni shem, bengandifuni. Like I could not understand. It was so obvious, with everyone, to everyone, ukuthi hayi cha, ayakakufuni shem. You understand? So I decided, you know what? Mandimnike space sakhe man, ukubona. So fortunately, I then got the post as a Makana. I worked for Makana municipality. As a, what was I there? SMME, yeah, SMME, Trade and Investment Manager. Um, from 2015, yeah. And I had this boss I was telling you about. We were not getting along, but I think we realized, you know what, the best way was for each one of us to, keep to themselves. You understand? I would try as much as I could to do what she needed, you understand, from me, to perform the duties, you understand, she required of me, but stay away from drama. We understand, because hey, bekuveske kushunqe kuqhuma uthuli, uyeva, like during the people I would call her to order, you understand, and this is something she was not used to. Shame, poor Rihanna. And yo sasinukselana nala mama, shame. But I respected the fact that she could see, which, you know what, the best way to deal with Khanya is to stay away from her. She would not even call me to her office. If she needed me to do something, you understand, she would give me a call, like, just like that. So now I'm going to the reason why I had to quit, if she's not the reason. So I was working as SMME manager. So basically my job was SMME Trade and Investment Manager. My job was to help SMMEs, for starters, in the Makana region. You understand, help them with, um, how do I put it? But, develop them as entrepreneurs, basically. And also, give them access, to funding, access to business opportunities, and so forth. So I had this project in Alisdale, where an alu plant, we wanted to build an alu plant, you understand, and a feasibility study had already been done. Now I needed a business plan. So I advertised for an RFQ. We understand, okay, I need someone to do a business plan for us. It so happened that the first RFQ received only one. There was only one company that responded, and it's the same company that they did the feasibility study. And I honestly didn't like the output, but the guy was appointed before I got there, so I had to deal with him. And he was not a nice person, very pompous, very rude. I didn't like him at all. We were just not getting along. And I didn't like his work. You understand? Like copy and paste basically. It doesn't cut it for me. So now I'm gonna have this guy have to deal with this guy again. I was like, no, you understand? So I had to re-advertise. We re-advertised. And my one mistake, that I'll admit to, was to advise a guy who has an SMME, that I had gotten close to because he was chairman of the business chamber, I think, for the Sarapatman region. I didn't know him any better than that. That's all I knew about him. So would attend same meetings, and I respected the guy, and I could see he was passionate about, you know, SMME development. So, and I knew he was very active within the agriculture space. You understand? So I felt like, maybe, you understand, he's one of, you know, um, he could, produce what I needed. So I advised him, hey, you must check out bulletin. We have an RFQ, we understand. Um, that's all I did. And then I think the following week we went to Jeffreys Bay for training. So I left with my colleague. Um, I'm not going to mention her name because she has since passed on. So if she was alive, I would mention her name because she is the source for my 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 pain. You understand? We had become friends. Her office was like right next to mine. I thought we had become friends. I remember even organizing a party for her because she had just got her master's degree. We were getting along. I thought we were getting along. So we went to the training together, and umhlekazi lo we-RFQ was basically like based in Jeffreys Bay. So he was like to me, Khanya, I heard you guys are around. Do you mind taking my RFQ to deposit in the tender box for me? Like, why do I have to drive from Jeffreys Bay to Grahamstown if you guys are here? You understand? I was like, okay, no, it's fine. We can do that. So he gave us the envelope, only to find which colleague is taking a picture of me receiving the envelope from Ugai. You understand? And and then after that, everything was downhill. You understand? Um, I think I had just a month before, I had traveled to Ireland on holiday. A friend of mine, Uxolile, had invited me to spend, um, 3 weeks, I think 3 weeks in Ireland. I was like, who would say no to a European holiday, especially because it was paying? So it was assumed that I was getting bribes or something. I don't know. How could I afford an overseas trip? You understand? So many things were said. I remember I came back. I took leave for a week because ndandinomsebenzi wenkomo yokuqokelela. I came back. There were auditors in my office, internal auditors, and I was like, "What is going on?" Um, Only to find ukuthi no Mr. in Jeffreys Bay, you know, is being interviewed. They had, gone to see him, and it was a big deal. Like, it was a big deal. I was like, "Hey, but what is going on?" And it was so obvious ukuthi the person who created the whole thing is this colleague that I tell you now, she has passed on, since passed on. I could not understand who would do that. Like, she knew I had nothing to do, like, with umhlekazi lo. Like, there was nothing. I didn't like. In fact, she knew him better than me, you understand, because she had been at Makana for the longest time, you understand. So I couldn't understand, only to find the guy that lo beka respondile for the first advert was actually